Hello people there, this is TheRubyRevolution. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the 1.87 War Thunder dev server. Yeah, the dev server dropped today, and yeah, there's loads and loads of new interesting stuff been added in. I'm going to be looking at all the nations and all the new toys which have been added in with this patch. I'm going to probably be splitting this into two parts because there's quite a few things that need to be looked at with this. So probably look at the first 3 to 4 nations with this one, and then I'll be doing a separate video looking at the rest of the stuff tomorrow. So starting off with the Americans, the first things first is the M1 A1 is being added into the game. This is the one with the 120 millimeter gun. If we have a preview of this, you can see here it's pretty much the same as the other Abrams. One interesting thing to note with this, it does fire heat FS as its stock shell. That's going to be very interesting indeed. You can see here the fin stabilizers are rank 3, so it's going to be a pretty tough time start grinding this tank. But the upgraded shell, the fin stabilized, has 493 millimeters of pen on it, so really nice indeed. Besides that, from what I looked at, it's pretty much the same as the other Abrams in the game. Similar sort of reload, same sort of engine power, I'm pretty sure. Where's the engine power? 1,343. Yeah, so pretty much the same. One thing to note as well is this one doesn't have the IP M1's protection. If we go to the X-ray, you can see here it's got 600 millimeters on the external composite armor, whereas the IP M1, if I preview this, you can see here has the 800. So the protection, there isn't as much protection on the turret. It's basically the same as the standard M1, just with the 120 millimeter gun. In terms of the rest of the Americans, there is no new helicopters, there is no new aircraft, but there is two new ships which are being added in, which is the Summers, which is a destroyer. It has 427 millimeter guns, quite a lot of torpedo tubes. It's got 3 torp tubes on this, which is really nice to see. Not very much of the armor belt, so it's I don't really know much about the ships really, so I really don't know how these are going to perform. But it's a new ship, and it's an actual ship as well, which is really nice. Now the other ship they're adding in looks amazing. They're adding in the USS Brooklyn, which is a cruiser, and look how many guns this thing has. This has 5 turrets with 6-inch guns in them, 3 of them in each one. This is absolutely bristling with so many guns. So look at the armor quick. So yeah, it's got some protection on it as well. And there's the citadel on the side there. So it's really nice. It's really nice that they're adding in some actual ships for once, rather than just PT boats. It's nice that they're getting down to some actual proper ships. So I'm going to have to grind down to these top tiers eventually. I'll be able to do some videos on them. Okay, right, moving on to the Germans. Now, the Germans have got some new ships as well. They've got the Type 1936A, which is a destroyer similar to the Americans. This one has 3 turrets with 15 centimeter guns, 2 in each. Oh no, sorry, 1 to 2 turret in the front, and then the rest in single mounts in the rear. It does have torpedo tubes as well. It's got 8 there, so slightly less than the US destroyer. What's the armor like on this thing? Okay, so no armor on the belt with this. It's another ship. It's another ship, and they're adding in the Nuremberg as well, which is basically like a more upgraded Kölner, which we already have in game. This one's armed with 15 centimeter guns as well. Really nice that they're adding in proper cruisers and destroyers into the game. Oh, it's got some torp tubes tucked away there underneath there as well. Really nice that they're adding in it. It's really nicely modelled. Definitely got to hand it to Gaijin with this. In terms of aviation, we have the MiG-19S, which is pretty nice. I did say in my MiG-19 video it would be nice if they added in the different versions of it. So it's really nice that they've added in this into the game. Let's preview this. I can also text like this in a minute as well. This is a one armed with the 330mm, which are fuselage mounted. Pretty much, there's got an extra one down here compared to the MiG-19 PT, which is already in game. So more ammunition capacity, but it can't carry any sidewinder. Anti-air missiles, or they're called for the Rushkeys. I can't remember what they're called, but basically can't carry any anti-AA missiles. But it can carry ground attack ordnance, as you can see here. It can carry rockets, bombs, and such. It doesn't have radar either. The MiG-19 PT has radar in it, but the MiG-19S does not. We'll take this out for a quick test flight and see how it gets on. It's pretty much going to be the same as the other MiG-19 we've already got in game. There's the... Do we have a air target? Oh, no, we don't have an air target. Well, that's a shame. There's no radar on this thing. Why is there no air target? That's a disappointment. This nose up. Yeah, the guns seem to look longer as well than the other ones do. Let's attack these ground targets over here. If the rudder, okay. Oh, the rudder's so much better than the MiG-19 PT. A lot better. I wonder if they fixed that now, actually. We'll test that out in a minute. Whoa, that noses up really well. Okay, so this feels like a much more maneuverable MiG compared to the other MiG. The German one, yeah. Sorry, the Russian one. Yeah, this is turning a lot tighter. A lot tighter. To roll as well, so yeah, it's going to be a very good fun aircraft as well. It's interesting that it's just going to be purely guns as well as ground attack with this one. I'm definitely going to be grinding this one out. Definitely going to be grinding that one out. Let's go back to the hangar and see what else. There's another jet as well that's added in, which is that I didn't realise this. The Germans were actually getting a Seahawk, which I thought the British were just getting a version of this. Yeah, this is a British naval jet, this is a German version of it. It's a ground attack aircraft as well as having the 20mm. So it's got 20mm Hispano cannons, 600 rounds. Pretty low, pretty respectable, I guess. It's pretty much the same as the Meteors. Let's see what it can carry. Okay, so it can carry sidewinder missiles and it can carry different types of ordnance. Can we take this out for a test flight? Can we put any load on it? Oh, I can. Let's arm it with this. Let's see how this gets on. It's got a 8.3 battle rating, so it's pretty high. Okay, so no weapon or anything like that. This thing just, it looks derpy. Early jets look so silly, really. It's just basic stuff. It's like a straight wing, 2 engines, a tail, a cockpit, and it flies. Okay, the right engine doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. Okay, that's definitely a bug with that. I wonder if this is actually... I think there's actually only 1 engine in it. So... Oh god, this is very slow taking off. Up. Oh, finally. There we go. Oh, that's very heavy. Let's put the landing gear up. Okay, so we can carry quite a few rockets, as well as 500-pound bombs on it, which is respectable, I guess. Oh my god, this is a slow mover for sure. Going to be similar to, like, say, the Venom. Very similar to the Venom, really. Oh, this is turning like an absolute whale with the bombs on. Let's try and bomb the medium tank. Running up for attack. I'll drop the bombs first. Boom. Oh, hey! I wonder how more maneuverable it gets without the bombs on. Oh, it's a hell of a lot more maneuverable without the bombs on. How does it turn? Okay, no combat flaps either. Oh, this thing really does not turn well. Oh, wrong button. Lots of rockets, that's really nice. Okay, it's getting a hell of a lot more maneuverable without the rockets on. Weird design. Just so boxy. How does it turn now? Not great. Really not great. I've not got the bombs on. But it's designed for ground attack really, so I guess in that sort of role it's going to be okay. I don't expect it to be amazing. Considering this is a premium as well, I'm not sure how I feel if this is going to be good or not. Say like the Reaper would probably be a better choice in this. What kind of top speed it's meant to have? Oh, I can't see anything in there. I think it's meant to be like 900. From what I remember, this is respectable acceleration, not amazing I don't think. Okay, well let's head back to the hangar and see what else there is. Cool. So there's no other aircrafts and there's no more helicopters. Interestingly enough as well, there is no new tanks for Germany in this version of the test server. There is no Leopard 2A5 or anything like that, so sorry guys that I know loads of people want the Leopard 2A5 that might still come. Apparently it's in the development kit, but there's nothing on this version of the test server. Moving on to the Ruskies. Now with the army for these, there's a couple of new stuff being added in. The T-80U, which is basically, which is the new top tier for the Russians. I've had a little bit of a test flight job for this one already. It seems like pretty much just like the T-80, just with improved armor protection. You can see here it's carrying this hard and rolled armor, and then it's got this hardness armor over the top of it, and then it's got this as well. It's extremely well armored. It's also got this lower plate, it's better protected as well. So this is going to be much harder to kill. Much harder to kill. So much protection on this tank. It's going to be incredible on the hull down. -5 on the vertical guidance. 7.1 second reload. And the gun has some interesting shells. 425mm of pen with the stock shell. So is that less than the T-80? I'm pretty sure the T-80 has a... Oh no, okay, so, oh my god, they've changed this, so that only has 350 now, and that has 425. Okay, so they're completely changing how the penetration works then, so the higher tiers are being nerfed, the ones that are already added in. So the T-80B now only has 425mm of penetration, so I guess it's the same. And then it's got the upgraded one, which does 479mm of penetration. So less pen than the Abrams, but it has a lot more utility in terms of like the shells it can fire. Let's take this. Let's take it out for a test drive when I get into it. From what I've seen, though, it's pretty much exactly the same as the T-80. Which would have been, understandably, because it's pretty much the same family of vehicles. The optics on this, though, look at that. Absolutely incredible. Crazy, crazy scene. Oh, these are terrible shooting. Oh, we got him. Good. Yay. So it's pretty much exactly like the T-80 is what I got in. Just with, again, same as the T-8 and T-64 before it. Just improved protection. Better pen. It has the same reverse speed as the T-80 as well, which is the negative 10 kilometers an hour. Pretty much exactly the same as the T-80 we've already got it in. Just with more pen. Same stuff. There's another very interesting as well. They're adding in this. This is the whole new mechanic with this patch. This is ZPRK 2S6. That was a bit of a mouthful. This is the, what was it? Tunguster. There we go. I couldn't remember the name of it for a second. This is a new 10.0 SPAA for the Ruskies. It has 30mm cannons. It's got 4 of these. It's also got surface-to-air missiles as well. So this is going to be a huge game changer now with this. I'm really interested in how this is going to work. I can't test drive it because I haven't researched down enough in the tree to be able to test drive it. So I can't test drive this, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll get around to it at some point. I'll get this fully researched and be able to take it out for a video. Let's have a look at their... okay, so 64 is probably the same as the one. And it's got the... oh, it's counted as a gun. Interesting. Anti-tank guided missiles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought they were SAM missiles. Interesting. Wonder how... interesting indeed. 41. I wonder how it's classed as anti-tank guided missiles. I think this might have to work with how the new radar mechanics works. But I can't test it out at the moment because I don't have it unlocked, which is quite annoying. Never mind. We'll get round to it at some point. Right, that's pretty much it for the Ruskies with this one. Just the two new vehicles. There's a trend with here then that they're all at top tier. No new helicopters. In terms of aircraft, no new aircraft to the Russians. They do get some new ships though. The Leningrad, which is the reward from the what is it? The event that's going on at the moment. I can't even remember what it's called now. That's absolutely terrible. This is armed with 30mm guns, 2 in the front, and then it's got the 2 in the rear as well. 8 torp tubes. Oh, there's an extra one here. It's going to be a really nice destroyer for people that don't really do naval stuff that much. So it hasn't got any armor on it. Okay, but it's going to be a premium ship as well, and it is actually a premium according to this. So yeah, it's going to be good for people to be able to grind down the Russian tree. Let's say the other one they've added in is the Kirov. Now this is a 5.7 battle rating cruiser, even though they designate it like a light cruiser or something like that, or heavy cruiser. In the game it's been designated as a light cruiser. This has 3 turrets, each one having 3 180mm guns, so these guns are going to pack quite a massive punch compared to some of the other ones, which are like 115 centimeters or the 127 millimeters on some of the other, like say, American ships. Does it have any armor on it? Yeah, it does have armor. Okay, so it's got the arm protection lock over the Citadel and obviously the turrets, etc. as well. This is going to be a very extremely powerful ship, very hard to kill. Like I said before, it's really, really good that they're adding in more of these big ships into the game. Is there anything else for Russia? No, there isn't. That's pretty much it. On to the British. Now, the British get a new ship as well in this patch, which is the HMS Leander. This has a 5.3 battle rating, so it's slightly less than the Kirov and the USS Brooklyn. This has 4 6-inch turrets, each one housing 2. Pretty much a lightly armoured cruiser. It does have torpedo launchers. It's only got the 3, it looks like. on each side, so kind of a little bit less than some of the other ships. Doesn't have much armor on it. Yeah, it does have armor. That's quite strong, that is. And it's got protection over the citadels as well, so hopefully this might be a little bit quite well protected. I don't really know how the naval stuff works, so I'm probably going to be wrong with that. In terms of new aircraft, there is a Seahawk variant. Let's have a look. Quick view of this. Pretty sure this is going to be exactly the same as the German counterpart. Yeah, pretty much exactly the same. This is just one in the normal tech tree, though. Set to the same battle rating as well, 8.3. I think that's kind of high, really. I think the Meteors really have a bit of a definitely better flight characteristics, but I guess this one's good for the ground attack, so there is that to take away. Let's have a look at in the army. Oh yeah, there's the main event that's kick-started all of this off, which is the Challenger 2. Gorgeous looking tank. Gorgeous looking tank. Although I don't think they've done the best model in game though, to be honest. It looks a bit very boring. Maybe it's just me. Let's have a look at the armor protection. So, oh my god, look at the thickness on that. How thick is that? 400, 100. Oh, this is going to be so tough to get through. That turret is going to be unpennable on the cheeks. Yeah, the gun's still going to get taken out though. The gun's good. If you get hit here, it's gonna. What's the armor like on there? Yeah, it's gonna get penned here quite easily. Yeah, same sort of armor on the upper hull as well. It's got the lower plate here though, which is not going to make any difference really, but it's still nice that it's got some little bit of extra protection on the lower plate. Let's have a look at the rounds. So 396mm, so that's pretty low compared to the Russian one. It's just not firing heat fin stabilized though. 471, so that's going to be lower than the Russian one as well. So it looks like the M1A1 is going to get the highest pen, looking like so far. Everything on here as well is also obviously subject to change. Everything can change from the test server to the live server, so it's just going to be a feel of everything that's just going on in the latest patch. I can actually take this out for a test drive as well, so I'll have a quick test drive of this. Oh, there we go. I'm pretty sure this is going to be very similar to how the Challenger one is. This has got really good optics as well. Gonna have a slower reload compared to, say, the Abrams and the T80. So boom. Yeah, this drives just like the Challenger in game. This doesn't feel like any different. It shouldn't really. That was a poor shot by Rubles. How's the reverse speed going to be the same? Yeah, pretty much 26 kilometers per hour doing that. It does feel a little bit more sluggish on the acceleration compared to the Charlie 1 in game. It's just going to have the same sort of playstyle though, and that is going to be hold down. It's still going to get penned exactly the same as what the normal Challengers do. It's still not going to be absolutely amazing. Oh well. It's going to have the same problems. Anyway, I'm going to be leaving it there for part 1 of looking at the new vehicles in the 1.87 patch. Check back in tomorrow for part 2, where we'll be looking at Japan, Italy and France, having a look at the new helicopters, etc. that they've added in, as well as the new radar mechanics. I'll be doing later in the week as well, a whole dedicated video looking at that. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one sometime soon. Bye!